Hey guys, welcome to Everiathing, and I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far, and I hope you guys had a good week last week and are gonna have an awesome week this coming week, woo! And anyways, hope you guys are all doing well. I'm always open to hearing how you guys are doing, so don't forget to contact me, email me, hit me up with a tweet, Facebook me. I love hearing how you guys are doing. Today we're going to be having a social activist, and she's really young as well, and you know, I really admire her for all of the things she does, especially for other people, despite the fact that she's juggling school at the same time since it is her senior year. She has actually went to Ecuador to build some homes for poor families and has recently organized a successful benefit concert for the BC Children's Hospital. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Sara Stanley. Good. I really like your shoes. I actually can't get over. Can you like show the camera the boots? Oh, yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Can you see those? Those are cute. Wow. Anyways, wait. Let's see your shirt real quick, because it does. Is this from We Day this year?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It says we dream, we change, and we act.
Nice. And how did that go?
It went really well this year.
Nice.
There was tons of people in the audience. There was over 20,000.
Wow.
And there was a whole bunch of amazing performers and speakers this year.
Yeah, I heard Headley was there, right?
They were.
Oh my
They
gosh.
sang their new song as well. They
sang,
sang
I love Headley.
Anything, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I bet it was like a amazing anything.
Anything can happen moment.
Anything can happen moment, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, I was trying to come up with a pun, but then I forgot that the word was anything. I thought it was amazing, and I was like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I know you really love helping others, and you're a social activist, humanitarian.
Yeah.
And when did you start having this desire to help people around the world?
Well, I think everybody knows that they have something they're passionate about that they want to help fix, whether it's with animal rights or with poverty or with environmental rights. They want to fix something, and they're just looking for how to do it. A lot of people don't know where to start, and because they're so young, a lot of people, they're like, I don't know if this is possible. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's what it was. I was like, how can I make a change? I was in elementary school and I knew I wanted to help out, but I just didn't know how. And my sister, her first year in secondary school in grade 8, I was on the ride home from school with her, and she had joined this new club called the Student Action Team. And the whole ride home, she could not stop talking about how amazing it was and how they were building a school in a developing country. And then I knew that I had to join this club because she was making it sound so great. And so I joined it, and then since then I've been really passionate about making a difference.
That's awesome, yeah. And you know what I really admire about you is how earlier you said like people are so young and sometimes they don't know how to start doing it, but you definitely try to find a path through everything to find a way to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's amazing, because that's true perseverance. To not knowing what to do, you're gonna find a way, because where there's a will, there's a way. Like in Headley's song, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
I listened to that this morning when I was doing my hair.
It's so catchy.
It is catchy.
I love it.
I love it. I love them in general. And speaking of them, since they're idols for many other people, who would you say is probably your idol and inspiration for helping out people, or just in general?
For me, one of my biggest inspirations is definitely Craig Kielburger, the founder of Free the Children. Just because for him, he started even younger than I am. He started Free the Children when he was only 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. He just saw a newspaper article about a child laborer who had escaped and was fighting for his rights, and he was a 12-year-old as well. And then this child laborer was shot and killed for standing up against this, and Craig was like, what's going on? And so he took this to his class, and then he got 11 people helping him with doing something about it. And then from there on out, it has become this amazing organization that is now worldwide.
Yeah. I remember you talking about the 12-year-old boy who was shot. I remember, the girl who stood up to the Taliban for education, right? Oh, she's amazing. And I saw her, her interview the other day, and she was just saying, we're not the same. They said, say something, or I'm going to shoot you. She said, well, then before, do what you want, but I'm going to tell you this. And I was like, that's so brave of her.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing what just one person can do to change the world, and that's definitely what you're going to do and change the world.
Thank you.
And so you were saying that he was the founder of Free the Children, and I believe that they also organize We Day, right?
Yeah.
And I know that you've been to 5 We Days, so
5 We Days.
You're like a hardcore fan girl. Yes.
I know We Days.
You with We Days is like me with One Direction. I'm like, yes.
Oh. every single lyric memorized.
Yep.
Right?
Head to toe, top of my hair to the bottom of my toenail. No, sole of my foot. Anyways, so 5 We Days. So did that all happen one after the other, or every year?
Yeah. So what happened is, when I was at school, the student action team gets tickets to go to We Day because you only get tickets for We Day if you are doing something to make a change and if you have volunteered. And so our school did a lot of volunteering, and so we got tickets to We Day. And so my first We Day, I was an audience member. And then my second We Day, I became a crowd pumper, which is a really cool volunteer role where you're just pumping up the crowd and you're all in spandex and neon. And it's,
spandex?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just thinking those workout guys.
Exactly. And there's so many crowd pumpers. It is insane in there. There's people screaming, very loud. And then after that, so I attended one, then I crowd pumped at one, and then I became a senior crowd pumper, and so I was on walkie-talkie, which I thought was pretty cool. And then Seattle actually hosted their first We Day this past year, and so I was also going down to that one, and then this year I volunteered again at another one. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So can you show us how you keep the crowd pumped?
Well, there's always a We Day dance.
Yeah.
And it's always 4 moves that are really, really playful and just really cute. And so when you're a crowd pumper, you do them, and you scream really, really loud. And then you also just do pep talks and be like, hey guys, when I say we, you say day, we, day, we, day, and it's just crazy.
Nice. Could you teach me some of those?
Some of the dance moves.
moves?
Well, this year, the 4 moves were, let me think, there was this one.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like the window
and then you go
wiper.
into the boogie, which is like this.
Down low.
And then up.
Oh.
And then the traffic controller.
Oh.
And then you bob your head. And then you do what's called a snap and the clap.
Oh.
Yeah.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Yeah, why don't you just lead the dance? Come on.
We could do it together. We could have some hardcore, what's the word? Teamwork, yeah. And so with all of these We Days and everything coming up, let's say one of these days, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did, We Day asked you to make a speech. What do you think your speech would be about?
I would probably talk about just how far you can come. I started not knowing anything about social justice at all, and then through my years I've grown so much, and I just want to let people know that they can stick to it and they can make a difference, and you don't have to be like Craig, you don't have to make this big organization all at once. You can just take tiny steps and work your way up, and you can make a difference.
It's really inspiring, and that it's definitely true. And personally, I would also love to support We Day Free the Children, and aside from that, also support anti-bullying campaigns, because I was also a bullying victim growing up, and I know what it can do to you, all the hurt you can feel, and I've had many friends who had it too, and so I think it's so amazing to see a lot of people come together for one reason, to help the whole world. And you never know, in the future, if this keeps going, we could be living in a happier and safer, more peaceful place.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of music and all this, I know you did make a very successful concert, Rock the Ridge.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored that you invited me to sing there, by the way. And I know it was so successful. There was so much talent there, and all the proceeds went to BC Children's Hospital, right?
Yeah.
And how much did you make again?
We raised $1,100.
Wow, that's awesome. And that's all under your amazing planning and all. That's wonderful. And I know you want to be an events planner when you grow up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see it. I can see it. It was such a blast, by the way. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
And with Rock the Ridge, when you were organizing it, did you ever have any days when you encountered any difficulties? Were there any challenges?
Yeah, well, starting off, I was like, I want to do this event. But then as I started going along, I'm like, this is a lot bigger than I think I can take on. Like, what am I doing? I started doubting myself. And as some of the obstacles started to approach, like, oh my goodness, I need to contact all these talent. Oh, I need to publicize it. I began thinking, oh, I'm over my head. I don't know how one person can do this. But then I kind of got back into reality, and I'm like, why do I have to do this alone? And so I started reaching out and asking for people's help to help me along the way. So it wasn't me that just put on Rock the Ridge, it was a group of people, it was a team effort.
Nice. And with all the volunteers, was it hard getting them, or was it like really easy?
Well, at first it was quite difficult. Nobody really knew what I was doing. I presented to the school about Rock the Ridge. I told them what it was going to be about, and a lot of people were like, oh, that's cool, but, and then they weren't getting on board. And then as it started coming closer, they're all like, this is really cool, what are you doing? I love it. And so then people started jumping on board.
Well, that's great that you have the support of your school as well. Like, when you were thinking about it and when you were just hatching the plan, giving birth to this idea, did you just like go to your school with like the proposal and just be like, hey, I have an idea, I was wondering if I could, get your support on it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I went to the principal first and was like, hey, can I make this speech at the first assembly back at school for the year? And he's like, yeah, for sure. Nice. And so I went up there and I spoke, and then people were really interested in that.
Nice. It's like, either Stephen Harper making a speech or Obama making a speech. You're like, hey guys.
My mic.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that you picked BC Children's Hospital, and I also like helping with sick kids and stuff. So my personal reason is because it breaks my heart to see like kids, especially the younger ones, with terminal illnesses and stuff, like they pass away and stuff like that. Really breaks my heart, and I just want to help them make their dreams come true. Like my dream is to help them, like maybe like sing on like my show or anything, something like that. And so what was your reason for helping out the BC children?
Yeah, so I really wanted to do Rock the Ridge, like a concert for charity, because I knew so many people in the business that I was friends with, and I didn't really know for the longest time what cause I wanted to do it for until I met this one girl at my school. And in the fall of one year, she was diagnosed with cancer. And because of this, I was really affected. And there was an assembly where the principal brought it up, and he was sharing this event that her dance studio was putting on for a fundraiser. But it didn't really hit me then. It was more in the springtime of the year that I really got affected, because I saw photos that this girl was posting on Instagram of her journey at the hospital and through her treatments. And I saw these and I'm like, this is a girl that I used to see walking down the hallways at my school every day, and now she's always in the hospital going through treatments. And so I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, I really want to help you. I think what you're doing is really amazing, like to have the courage to post the photos of you in the hospital and what you're going through. And she was getting tiny as the process went along, and it just was really emotional to see. And so I asked her, I'm like, do you want, I want to do this event. Do you want the funds to go to the BC Children's Hospital where you're going, or where would you like them sent? I want to support you. And she was like, there's this expansion they're doing right now. They really need help with proceeds. And I'm like, I'm in, I'm doing that. Yeah. And so since that moment, I'm like, I have to make this event a success.
No, well, you know what? Congratulations so much on Rock the Ridge, and you know you're truly a superhero for helping everyone out. And I know this is nowhere near the stop of the journey, but just the beginning. And that's what's so beautiful about you and what you're doing. Now, before Rock the Ridge, I know you went to Ecuador and you made some houses for poor families. So tell us about your trip. That's really amazing. But yeah, tell us about your trip and what you did.
So I went with Free the Children.
Nice.
And I went during July, and I was with 27 other youth from across Canada, and one from New York. And then
one American.
And then 2 people from that were our facilitators from Free the Children. And we went down there, and we were, we did the tourist stuff at first, and then we moved 11 hours away in a bus. We went to where we were gonna be staying in a hacienda. And then we had a school that we were building up there. And it was really cool on the first day to see some of the children's faces as we arrived. We're like, oh, you're gonna build us a school, what? We were building the first classroom of the first high school there. And so they were really excited to further their education, because in their community they would have elementary and then they would have to stop. And so we were helping them go farther than that.
Yeah. That's amazing. And when you build the schools in Ecuador, like what's the process? Like how do you do it?
It's quite a long process. We have to dig the holes, and then we have to mix the cement actually on the ground. There's no fancy equipment at all. It's all by hand. And then we have to do the rebar supports, and then the walls go up, and then painting happens, and it's a long process. And so for my trip, what we were doing is we were doing the very, very beginning. So we were doing the digging and the cement, so all the tough grunt work there. So that's what we were doing. And the majority of my trip participants, actually everybody except for one, they were all girls. And so
party.
Yeah, we were doing all the hard work, and
that one guy's probably like, yes,
yes,
potential girlfriends.
27.
27, yes. So many options. No, but that's amazing, and like it's so tedious, but the fact that you're all doing this, not like you're sacrificing all your energy and stuff for other people to have a better life, it makes you think like angels really do walk on earth. Like it's nice to see, and you guys are also young too. That's what really amazes me to like great extent. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm like juggling. Anyways, so I know you're really into the event planning and fundraisers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this coming year, are you planning on doing another Rock the Ridge, like Rock the Ridge Part 2?
Yeah, there's a Rock the Ridge Part 2 coming. Yeah. In September. It's going to be happening again, and hopefully it's going to get bigger this year. Yeah. I would like to have some sponsors and just make it a big party. So that's coming along, and that's actually the only event I have planning right now, but I'm really excited for it.
Well, that's awesome. And you know, when it's coming closer, just let me know, and I'm going to promote it like crazy, because you guys don't want to miss out on Rock the Ridge. It's amazing. There's so many good talents there, and the venues are always good, and you have good seats. And of course, the organizer makes it worth it as well. You know, I'm really excited for Rock the Ridge Part 2. Can't wait to see. And it would be cool if like people from last year were there as well. It would be like a big reunion.
Yeah.
The Rock the Ridge family.
Hey guys.
Hey, did you miss me?
Hey guys, it's Ria, and as you can see, we are in a completely new location, and this is my room, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about some makeup for beginners, or if you're not only just starting out, but going back into makeup from not using it for a while. I'm going to be talking about some products that I would recommend for you to use, so if you'd like to learn more about that, be sure to keep watching and stay tuned.
Since you're really into planning and stuff, and you're really devoted, I can see that's one of your biggest passions aside from helping out others. For anyone else who would like to go into event planning and organizing and stuff like that, what tips would you give them?
I would say make sure to get some help. Don't think that you have to do it all by yourself, because you don't, and it's just going to be a lot more fun when you have other people to work besides. And then also, you will have those moments when you doubt yourself. You will. But just know that perseverance is where it's at, and you can get through it, and you can make an event a complete success if you just put your heart to it.
That's really good advice. And I know personally, because we all have goals, we all have passions, but sometimes we can all feel like giving up. Like you said earlier, that at one point you thought like, oh, I can't do this. And how do you keep yourself motivated?
Well, just the inspiring people I have in my life that are always supporting me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I really look up to, and I just, whenever I'm feeling discouraged, I just look up to them, and they kind of help me on my way there.
Nice. And what do you think would be your ultimate goal in life?
That's a big question. I would really like to be on the We Day stage one day giving a speech. And I would really like to hold an even bigger event of some sort and raise 5,000 onwards potentially to go toward different causes. Like have a giant concert going to a whole bunch of different charities or something along those lines.
That would be absolutely amazing, actually, because normally things only go towards one cause, but you don't hear many that go to like a lot.
Yeah.
And that would be really cool and really refreshing, and it would be so supportive of everything else, and then surely whatever it supports, people who support that cause will all come, and it'll be like a big gathering and just fireworks.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
So so you said you want to raise at least 5,000 if ever that was your ultimate goal and stuff, We Day. And if ever you had $1 million, like what would you do with it?
Well, my parents would get their dream home, but then I would also love to take a whole group to Ecuador because it really changed my life and how I don't really take things for granted as much as I used to. And then I would just try and get as many people as I can to put together a big event or something like that.
Yeah, and I like that the whole building schools and homes and stuff. I mean, like I think a good saying would be like, you're gathering people to help you, and we're changing the world one brick at a time.
Yeah, I love that.
I just thought about it now, and I was like, that's so clever. I was like, say it now, Rhea. Yes. Anyways, so I want to thank you again for coming here, and if we want to contact you about event planning and stuff, and definitely before we mention more about that, always be sure to contact me about all your events and stuff, because I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to be like, guys, Sarah has a thing.
Perfect.
Send, Facebook, tweet, everything. Woo, bombard. And so before we move on, I just wanted to say thank you so much. And where can we find you? Like if we want to get you to host events and stuff, we want to find out more about you, where can we contact you?
Yeah, well, I don't have any Facebook page or anything like that, but I do have an email, sarastan@talis.net, SARASTAN@talis.net. Yeah, I don't have any other contact information right now, but maybe down the line I might get something else.
Anyways, how about you help me close the show with those We Day dance moves, yeah?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to start. 1, 2,
Okay, so today I have with me everything in this little bag, and I love it because I got this for Christmas from one of my friends, Caitlin. Hey girl. And it has my two favorite things in the world, which are cats and puns. And it says, "Are you kissing me right now? I mean right now?" Punny. Foundations can range between medium coverage to full coverage, and I've got a couple with me here today. And this is one of them, and this I find is really thick for my skin, but it does have really good coverage. You can also get lighter foundations that can also come with things like SPF, so that if it's, for example, really sunny outside, it's really nice to have things like that so that you can have some sun protection and it also feels nicer on the skin. And most BB creams also come with SPF. So there are many different types of foundations, and I'm pretty sure that the top 3 would be liquid, so I use liquid. And there's also a creamy kind of foundation as well as powder. Now, powder is good for, I guess, if you want just sheer coverage, and it's a lot more breathable, and it's really good for people who have like oily skin because it mattifies the face. And liquid foundation is also nice, but sometimes you do have to set it with another powder or a setting powder. Cream foundation is great for being on the go because it's not too wet and not too dry. It's really easy to apply. But my personal experience is that it made my face a little cakey, but that is just my personal skin tone, and makeup works different on all sorts of different people and all sorts of different skin tones and skin types. So it could always be different for other people. I know that it works like a gem on my mom, so it could work really well for you, but that is just my personal preference. So something that's also nice is buying 2 foundations, and you can always mix them together, so you can get one lighter and one darker, and then kind of blend them to your liking until they reach your skin tone. If you want to go the extra mile with your foundation, apply it, and then while it's kind of setting in your skin, do the rest of your makeup, and then you can also top it off with some setting powder. So this is one, and it's loose, so you'd have to get a brush, and then this one comes with like a powder puff. Powder puff, sounds like Powerpuff Girls, but Powder Puff Girls. And you can use something like this to mattify your face. Now this product that I have here is my lifesaver and best buddy, and it's not from the drugstore unfortunately, but this one, it works just as well, and it's from the drugstore. This one is high-end, but I do keep it with me in my purse wherever I go because I do tend to get an oily T-zone, and I want to mattify my face so that I don't get all shiny and glossy throughout the day. So it's really nice to keep things like that with you if you're oily skinned like me and are going somewhere so that you can keep touching up. If you don't want something like that, you can always get blotting papers and just like ease away the oils from your face with those. If you're oily skinned like I am, you should always look out for the things with the label and make sure that the label says oily or combo skin or oily to combo skin. And if your skin is more dry and you want kind of a glow, you should look for things that have like luminescent stuff that will luminize your face and add a certain kind of glow. And they will also have labels, just like the oily, that'll say normal to dry skin. And they have labels for both skin types for BB creams and foundations, so it's really nice.